Hi, Tamal. Welcome to the banking show. This week's column that you've written talks about a book by Krishnamurthy Subramaniam, and he's obviously the youngest chief economic advisor and now the ED at International Monetary Fund. Why did you write sort of a book review in this column this time?
Well, yeah, it's a tricky question. No, I mean, I do write interesting books. I do review in my column. It's not that I was, there's a dearth of any subject, but I thought, let's do that. And Krishnamurthy is a co-author. He's not the sole author. And that's actually, this book talks about the entire monetary system. And it challenges the conventional theory of, the dominance of central bank, the creator of money, the controller of money, which ensures the quantum of money in the system, the so-called M3. I'm not getting into the technicalities and the economic theories and all, but he says, look, that's not the case. It's the commercial banks which are more important than the central bank, and which is why he's challenging the Reserve Bank of India rules of reserve requirement, like CRR, cash reserve ratio, part of money the banks need to keep with Reserve Bank of India, and other stuff. He says, look, it's the commercial bank which gives the credit, and the credit actually generates money in the form of deposits, and then one leads to another. So that's the kind of, it's something interesting, but as I mentioned, it's not exactly new. There have been papers which challenging the conventional economic theories of the dominance of central bank in money creation. And both sides to it. There have been earlier papers on a similar line, but he has doing it's a bit of an epic, I would say. He has gone into entire money creation, the history, and the role of commercial banking, and he ended that if India wants to become a 5 trillion economy and wants to become bigger, the banks need to play a much larger role.
We are a week away from the monetary policy. So would love to get your view into what are you expecting the RBI to do? Do you think the RBI will hit the pause button?
I was dreading this question. And yes, between now and the policy, I don't think there is new set of any data which will influence Reserve Bank of India policy, because if you see the global central bankers, whether it's ECB, Bank of England, and of course US Federal Reserve, everything is over, and we found the crisis in Western world. That's the context. So it's a very close call, I would say. I would like to believe this will be the toughest policy for RBI governor. Thus, since he started raising the policy rate May last year, so from 4% to 6.5%, we have come. And as we speak, it's vertically divided. I think the economists. I understand that Reserve Bank of India governor had his pre-policy meeting with the clutch of economists. There also it was a divided rule. Some economists are in favor of hike, some economists are against hike. So why do you go for a rate hike? I mean, at this point of time, the systemic liquidity is far less. It's less than 1% of GDP. It will go only further down. So yes, you stick to the stance of withdrawal of accommodation, and tight liquidity will play the role of the tightening part. You don't need to go for a rate hike at all. Give it a pass. And if you need to have it, then you go for in June. And the third option, as I said, go for a rate hike, but don't go for 25 bips, go for probably 10 bips. So from 6.5 to 6.6. Now, what purpose does it serve? It only serves the purpose that RBI demonstrates its resolve to fight inflation, the inflation fighter image. So you do that, and you continue with your withdrawal of accommodation policy, and then move ahead. And in future, you change the stance to neutral, and then depending on the situation, you can go for rate cut or continuous pause. So as we speak, 1 week before, I think all three possibilities are on the table.
you've laid out all the scenarios that RBI could go for, while also very subtly making the suggestion of what it should perhaps do. Keeping in mind there are pockets of slowing economy, and we need to push the credit offtake as well. Thank you so much, Tamal. That was great insights that you shared with us today. See you next week.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.
I am the blue of the limitless sky. I am the inspiration that led success soar high. I will achieve, I will fly high. I am the I in SBI.
I'm backed by the nation's trusted bank, SBI, the banker to every Indian.